Hello everyone, thanks for coming outside, thanks for bringing the sunshine with you. What we've got a demonstration of here is several things all working together. The first part of which is the equal system, which those of you who were inside earlier on will know about, those of you who don't know about it. It's fitted to almost every new car and van since 2018. It's that little red button up by your mirror that says SOS. But if you have a collision and your airbags go off, it rings the emergency services with your location and your vehicle identity, and then they call you back and ask if you want assistance. So what we're simulating here is that Sunil's car has lost control in the wet weather, gone into the back of this autonomous vehicle. The autonomous bus, as required by the Automated Vehicle Act, will be able to report its own incidents as well as Sunil's car. So Sunil's car will send a data packet to my company VESOS, and we process that data packet to get the location of the vehicle. We identify it from its, what it's sent there is a VIN number, which is 27 digits of rubbish. We'll turn it into the fact that it's a Mazda, and it's red, and it's a vehicle registration number, so that the emergency services can find it. And also, if you are the fire brigade, you want to know if that's an electric vehicle, because then you've got a whole load of extra stuff to do. So what happens then is that data packet is sent to several people, first of which is Coventry City Council would receive the data so they knew it was on their network, they could respond to it with their cameras, etc. The second thing that would happen would be that the data would go to HAAS. Is Gareth here? He's not here. So HAAS Alert will take the data and they put it into a demonstration vehicle, which is over there, to warn of drivers that are approaching the scene that there's been a collision. And they would also put it into Waze, so that the data from Waze would reflect the fact that there'd been two vehicles that have collided. Now, we have yet to get all the institutional agreements and GDPR and all that for that. What we're showing today is that the technology works, but that we need to get lots of institutions and organisational agreements. That's why we've simulated the airbags going off. Otherwise, we'd have A, Sunil's car not able to move for the rest of the day, and B, calls made to West Midlands Police, and they would be very happy. So that has now sent its location to the drone. You can see the drone. The drone has taken off and is going to approach the vehicle in order to show pictures. Now, I'm going to wait for Sunil to come back. But this gentleman here, Paul, has got a screen. Can we show the screen?
My laptop's going to be very good, but essentially, so what you're getting here is object detection as well. So you've got two live streams. We can have multiple units up at one point. So this essentially would mimic what a control room would look like, certainly from the West Midlands Police point of view. And then the object tracking, if I try and shade it enough, you can switch to thermal as well, and it will then take that outline and identify person, car, vehicle, whatever it is. So it's quite a big library that they've taken that from. So if you came down to the car, you can then identify something as well, which is obviously working off what the equal have got.
So what we'll do is we'll publish these pictures on the LPIC website so you can have a look, because obviously it's a bit difficult to see now, we can't go inside into the screens. But in essence, what we're trying to do here is plug together a few things that are already in place, equal, HAAS Alert, drones, and show how they can all work together. What we've got to do is to, like I say, show the business case for it, and we've also got to show all the institutional agreements, and people worry about privacy and all that kind of stuff, and the safety of drones. I'll wait for Sunil to come back, because he's disappeared. But in essence, what we're trying to show really here is that please go and have a look in your car as you drive away, and look up by that mirror, you'll find something that says SOS. Don't press it, but you'll have to read page 493 of the car manual to find out about how it all works. So here's Sunil coming back now.
Cheers guys. Sorry to keep you waiting.
We've done a little demo of what
Yeah. Sorry to sort of have the delay in there, but at least the weather's now favoured us, and in a better condition to see it. One of the questions that was asked before we did this demonstration is how are we going to do it when it's raining, because it's always raining in Britain. We're working on a drone which is going to be IP rated, so that will operate in wet conditions as well. Unfortunately, it's not ready yet, but we'll be working on that. But part of this demonstration is something that we're working in Coventry with the autonomous vehicle and the e-call system, as was demonstrated in the presentation. how do we merge the two together? One of the biggest challenges is when you have an e-call, and when the e-call goes off, it sends a message to the police and all the relevant parties that are involved in that. But what do we send out? We send out everything. The fire, police goes out and then actually turn around and say, well, actually, we don't need it. This way, we are streaming live images to our control room, and it can stream live images. The West Midlands Police are here, they've got the images on their phone, and what happens is they can then assess, do a triage service. The drone you see over there will actually turn around and give them an actual images, thermal images, as well as what the incident is. As you can see, the e-call has deployed the airbags in my car because I've been stupid and run into an autonomous vehicle. It's not the autonomous vehicle that's at fault. I drove into it, because otherwise the autonomous vehicle people will still kill me. But that's the demonstration. So what we're saying is we've simulated that. You can see the airbags, and if Peter can bring it in to turn around and showcase, hopefully, like I say, not hopefully, but if the police can verify that they're getting the images on their mobile phones, and again, they're in attendance with that because the message is there. The whole point is to try and get our CO2 emissions reductions, because if we can do a triage service, we only need to send what's relevant. We don't need to send all services. It will help the police, the fire, and the ambulances in the struggling times that we are currently at. So when we turn around and say, well, if the police is not needed, the fire is not needed, it's just the highway agency or the local authority just to go and either repair the barrier or to try and repair or put the road closures in. So that's the whole idea. It will eventually be that the autonomous vehicle, if it ever fails, that also has to report. Well, how do we get the operators of the autonomous vehicle the detail they need? So the idea is we have that, and they will get the live streaming as well. So there they are. So you can see the drone behind you that has the thermal image, but there's another drone following it, so we can capture both of them. At the moment, the legislation and the legalities is they can only fly the drone as long as you can see it. There's visual line of sight. We're working on a project, as I said in the presentation, where we are looking at flying drones beyond visual line of sight. So we'll be flying from Coventry all the way to Reading. That's the first superhighways that's going to be built in the sky. But all of those need documentations to go with it. So as part of the other project we're working on with the Drone Ready City, we are creating those documents for all other cities to engage with and look at and refer to what they need to do to make sure that they are compliant or the infrastructure is ready for that to happen. Happy to take any questions. Any questions on?
I think this is just a good example. Now we've got some roads. So this instance is here. If you've got Waze, you'll be able to see this on your phone now. So through VESOS, they would have gone through to ourselves. So we can start to notify the public that there's been an accident up ahead. So this is notifications into the navigation systems of Waze and Apple Maps, but then soon to be directly into the head unit of the vehicle as well. So actually coming up on the infotainment screen about 30 seconds to 15 seconds before they get to this instance. So it's that preemptive safety so that you know to slow down. Then imagine, okay, this has now happened. We've got the emergency services on deployment. If they're also connected to our safety cloud, they can then start to inform drivers that they're behind them. People will be able to see that in the navigation systems, but then also notifications directly into their vehicle that says, hey, but be careful. There's a fire truck, an ambulance behind you, start pulling over. So there's an efficiency play there, not only a safety. The key thing here is we are completely agnostic to the emergency services and what they're using. So you might have the ambulance that are connected through ACE Tech, you might have the police that are connected through Standby RSG, and you might have the fire services that are connected through Cradlepoint. They're just 3 examples. It does not matter. They can all go into our safety cloud environment, and they can all be communicating with people on the roadway. So from a safety perspective and also that efficiency perspective to get to this casualty quicker. One of the key areas I think where you guys come in from the local authorities is through that connection. We can also connect those vehicles to your traffic lights. We can also connect them to your infrastructure. So if you've got variable message signs, if you've got smart traffic lights, we can start to do signal prioritization and also get it onto the message signs at the side of the road instantaneously, all through that connection. We don't build any of that, but we can help with that connection of the blue light services to get to these types of instances quicker.
And as the city council, as a local authority, we are probably leading in this sector of technology as to how we can develop. This is just one use case. We're working with our highways people, we're working with our bridge inspectors, traffic control center. The use of drones is able to actually give you live streaming from wherever you want to go. So if you've got bridge inspections to do, that will give you bridge inspections. If you need to do thermal imaging, it will do that for you. If you need to do a topographical survey, it will do that for you. So the idea is, this will help us actually in this financial circumstances that we're in. It will help us save revenue, because this will save time and it will save resources that you need to put out. So how can we, this is the whole point that we're trying to do today, is to showcase that we're advancing with this development, but we want, in isolation it doesn't deliver what we want to do. We want all of the local authorities to work with us, and that collaboration, if anyone needs to know a little bit more about it, please come and see us and we will give you all the details. And Andy's got a few words.
Just thanks very much for coming out again. While it's still sunny, could you all wave at the drone so we could have a photo, please? Just literally like that. And also it moves, it shows that the pictures that we're streaming are live because people are moving. So is that all right there, Peter? Does that work? So thank you very much. Thank you for coming out in the rain. It's a bit black over there.